Assalamualaikum dear students. This is a video in sequel with another video which I have made about writer's effect. In this video I will be talking about what you should not write while explaining writer's effect. So there are some phrases which you should not use while you are answering to the questions on writer's effect. Like when you're commenting on any of these effects, it is best to avoid using these journal phrases like it draws the reader in, or it makes the reader want to read on, it makes the reader feel as though they are there. So such type of common phrases should not be used for answering such questions. Another example is it helps the reader know what is in the character's mind, or it paints a strong visual image in the reader's mind. So such type of phrases should not be used, because instead make some clear and precise links to the language you are discussing, making sure you analyze and your analysis engages with the text at word level. Then another thing, that while you are explaining such questions, then you should not using the language of the phrase in your explanation. And another thing, that you should not simply name the literary devices, that a simile or metaphor. You should explain them fully, that what does that particular simile mean, or if it is a metaphor, then what does it suggest. You should describing the reader's emotional response without explaining it fully. So let's look at one example from this text, and let's look at the students' responses on it so that we can understand. Now, when the writers say that plummeting and hurtling downward, what is the understanding of student on it? Student G says that the word plummeting and hurtling downward give not only a sense of speed through plummeting, but also a lack of control, as she is unable to stop herself. So this is a quite good understanding of this phrase. And these words also. This creates tension as it makes her situation sound dangerous and gives the impression that she may get hurt. So another students write that plummeting and hurtling make the reader feel scared. It makes the reader feel as though they are also experiencing the fall with her. So you can yourself see that student G's ideas are better for explaining this, and student G has correctly explained the phrases and the words. Now look at another example. Spiraling and spinning uses alliteration. Alliteration is the use of same sound, especially consonant, at the beginning of several close together words. So the S sound makes it clear that she is spinning and spiraling, and the reader can easily picture it. So the first line is better where the alliteration has been spotted, but the rest of the response doesn't make some good sense. Now look at another better response on this. The alliterative use of spiraling and spinning adds to the sense that she cannot control her movements. The alliterative phrases has a dizzying effect on the reader, as she appears to be twisting and turning at speed as she falls. So this is a better response, and you can see that here this phrase has been properly explained and the words are properly taken into account. Now look at another example. Floating on a sea of air sounds peaceful and soothing, as though she has no worries or cares but can just relax. She sounds light and as though she has space all around her. The metaphor of the sea makes it sound as though she is bobbing along on the waves of air without a care in the world. So this is a quite good explanation. Look at another explanation which the student has done, and by looking at these examples you can definitely see that how some better explanation is done and what are the things which should be avoided. I mean, being journal in your statement will definitely not help you get good marks. You will have to show that you have actually understood that piece of writing, and you can exactly take out some sense out of it. So stay blessed. Allah Hafiz.